Hi everybody, today I'm going to tell you my favorite top 10 dividend kings for stocks. And what is a dividend king? Well, to be a dividend king with stock, that means that the company has a stock with 50 or more consecutive years of dividend increases. And we love that as an investor, especially when we want to stretch our dollar and we want it to go into a sound company. So example, since we probably only have $1,000, most of us here that are coming new to the channel that are beginning investors. So you might put $100 into a company, and a dividend is what percentage that they'll give back to you if they do offer dividend. So say if you put $100 in a company you picked, it would give you 1% this year, $1 this year, and then they raise the dividend every year. It means they're going to give you more than $1 the next year, like $1.10, and the next year $1.30, and $1.40, and $1.50 each year after. So these companies have been doing this for 50 years. That's who I am looking to invest in. Someone sound. I don't know very many couples or anybody that can stick together with another person for 50 years or much to stick around for 50 years. I'm in Los Angeles, and a club doesn't even last past maybe, it's lucky if it lasts 5 years. So clubs and dance clubs come and go in Los Angeles. I don't know about your city, but to be lasting around that long, that's amazing. So I'll just briefly recap real quick so you can kind of just get them in case you're like busy. So, and most of them you probably see in the grocery store all the time, or you're familiar with them going somewhere. So believe it or not, Hormel, do you know the spam, those little spam cans? They're dividend king, and they've been given dividends out for 51 years. Hormel Foods, and you can buy Hormel at Costco, and Hormel makes, it's called consumer staples. Consumer, you are a buyer, you go, it's just things that you need: soft drinks, toothpaste, laundry detergent, and spam. I mean, I was in Costco because I do a lot of spokesmodeling. I'm an actor out here in LA and a writer, and I have a podcast, and I do a lot of promotions at Costco, and I see cans and cans and cans in those baskets, and I can see why now. It's a favorite for a long time with people. And so Hormel, so that might be a company that you might like to research and learn more about if it's the right company to get some of your investment money. So Stanley Black & Decker, Stanley Black & Decker, they've been around 52 years. I think as a woman, I might not, I've seen it. I've seen my dad use the products, and it might be more something your dad or someone working with equipment will know about more. But the company has been given dividends for 52 years. And then Colgate-Palmolive. We've seen the commercials, washing your hands, washing dishes with your hands, and they keep your hands nice and smooth with that green dish soap. They have been around giving stock dividends for 57 years. And my favorite, as I told you before, Coca-Cola is a dividend king. They've been giving out dividends for 58 years. I love Coca-Cola. It's the best tasting Coca-Cola soda pop, in my opinion. When I go to Italy, you're a little homesick, you just want a nice refreshing Coca-Cola. It's so hot there. If you're in Greece and you're somewhere really hot, California, it's crisp, it's light. You put the ice cubes in there, it's delicious. And Coca-Cola is the soda pop company. Everyone loves Coca-Cola, where it's Coca-Cola Zero, or their other beverages that they have. They do have water, they do have juice, they have sports drinks. They are, a beverage company, and it's well loved. And whether you can have sugar or not sugar, there's a drink for you, and water. So Johnson & Johnson, the family company. You probably remember the commercials. they have like, everyone has baby lotion or baby oil. So they have been giving out dividends for 58 years. I mean, these companies have been around for so long, and they give back to their stock investor, which I just love. Like, it makes me want to buy the product more. It makes me want to tell other people about it. And I'm enjoying receiving some love back for when a company makes money, that they're taking care of their investor, and it helps us as retail investors to make a decision if you want to, give them some love. And so I really highly recommend Johnson & Johnson, especially, if those of you who have families and children, it might be a company that you just love. And then I don't know if you know about this, but 3M has been around 62 years. I mean, it's incredible how long this company has been around. And right now, 3M is making the mask, the mask for the COVID. Do they make? So there we go. Your Post-its. That's what I wanted to just make sure I was telling you, because there's so much to tell people. They're like, what? But I just wanted to give you the beginners, like the meat and potato of stocks that you might want to just have a starting point to look at, because there's so many companies. There's like 500 companies in the S&P 500. There's just so many stocks, and it can be mind-blowing. But if you just start with things that you personally buy, people buy it, whether you're in America, Australia, Italy, Germany, France, Asia, Mexico. You want to make sure that like you're in a company that like the products you can buy all the time. But 3M, just think of it as the Post-it company. They specialize in business segments, and they've been around a very, very, very long time. 62 years paying stock dividend increases to the investors. So Emerson Electric Company, Emerson has been around 63 years as well. So that's electric. Some things that you might not even think of to look at to invest in is utilities. And I like my slow Betsy's, stable Ables. I want them to be stable and sound and secure, and I want like to know that my company's going to be around. The minimum, the investors, they say hold a stock for 1 year or be a long-term investor, because I don't really like the yo-yo of high growth stocks or high speculative stocks, because it makes you dizzy. Those stocks are the equivalent of going on a Harry Potter ride or a Magic Mountain ride. If you don't understand what that means, like when you go to Magic Mountain, you go in the little cart, or if you go to Universal Studios, you're gonna go on a Harry Potter ride, get in a little car, and the roller coaster is gonna go up and down and up and down and all around. Well, that's how your stock's gonna look with speculative stocks. So I prefer my stocks to be a little bit more steady Betty or stable Able, and to give me back some love right away. So call me frugal, but yes, I like it. And then Dover, they've been around 64 years. So and then let me just see if I can highlight any other ones for you right now, so you can kind of I just want to give you those top 10, and then I'm gonna just like if you guys are listening right here, I'm gonna just highlight 5 of them that you probably heard of, or probably you haven't heard of if you're sticking with me. So, because I feel like I want to reward people that are listening to the podcast and are sticking around and want to hear all of it. It's a lot of research, a lot of studying, but just think of podcasts as our cliff notes, which go, oh yeah, those are great ideas. These are great ideas for me to go research and study. So here's some 5 that I thought would be interesting. And I think I told you about this before, but the Altria Group, the reason I like that, it is founded by Philip Morris, and everybody knows Philip Morris, the smoking cigarette brand, Marlboro, and it also has 10% ownership in Anheuser-Busch, so you kind of get like 2-in-1 with this one, which I like, because I think everyone right now with Corona, the stress of Corona, people losing jobs, restaurants and beaches opening and closing, open and closing. We might go back to work. We don't have work. Those of us who lost jobs, those of us who don't have acting jobs or voiceover jobs right now, like Hollywood is shut down unless you're like an A-list name. You're working in a different country right now that went in production, and they're not. Those of you who are working on commission or can't work at home, like we're all looking for ways. So Altria, I think I gave you the ticker symbol. M is in mighty or Merlin, my name, and O is in octopus. So that might be something interesting. It's kind of standing out in this heated environment or this stressful time for most of us. So check that one out. And then this one, these are ones that you might not have heard of. So that's why I'm putting these at the end. Here's one, Fidelity Realty Investment Trust. And it is a real estate investment trust, which is called, like if you put those initials, that would be REIT, which is called a REIT. Like, you know, when you put the initials together, it looks like REIT. So people like that one because it has high income in the coastal markets in the US, and some people like that one. So that's Dividend King number 2. And then, let's see, Dividend King National Fuel and Gas. It's a energy company. So that one you might want to look at. Has pipelines, and you know, we all need fuel to run the country. Like, you know, when you order on Amazon, who's going to deliver it? If the product's not made in the USA, it's shipped in by a boat from a different country, or planes don't carry a lot of stuff because they're smaller, so it needs to be shipped in by a ship running on what? Gasoline. And then the trucks that have to go back and forth, you know, from the East Coast to the West Coast, transportation. So you need, you know, fuel to heat everyone's home in the winter, like gas, and then air conditioning in the summer when it's hot. So check out some of those. And we know that the cars are being electric coming in the future, and there's all this disruption technology, but that's still, even though it's coming fast, it might be a while. So as long as it's for 1 year or 5 years, whatever you want to hold it, just know that we're not all electric yet, or whatever is the new all water or all plant or all sun or whatever is the next disruptive force. But I'm happy to see that, like, I wish we could get free energy. Here's one that you probably didn't think of, Lowe's. The builders getting your like supplies to remodel your kitchen or your bathroom, or adding that, you know, turning your garage into a room. People are doing that right now, converting their garage into a room, and or making a what do you call it, a grandma's quarters. So you can rent that out to have your like your mom or your dad have a grandma quarters. So, or, you know, Airbnb, you can rent your home, or some people even rent out their space on their land to trailers and RVs. So that might be something interesting. Lowe's. We all know Home Depot, but Lowe's is a dividend king. So, and then this one, I'm not sure if you've ever heard of, but I've always heard Bancorp. I didn't really know what it was. So I looked this up a little bit. Farmers and